What's up, everybody? What's up? Just going up live here just a few minutes early, just to make sure everyone can hear me. How you doing? If anyone can hear me, just go ahead and let me know in the comments if the volume's good. If not, I'll go ahead and change that before we get started. What's up, Beartooth Customs from Wyoming? Magecrafts from California? All right. Sounds good. Okay, thanks, Beartooth. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to get started in just a few minutes. We're going to let other people join here. Maybe about 5 minutes, we're actually going to get started. But if you have any specific questions about laser engraving or cutting, or specifically the Monport 80-watt CO2 machine with the integrated chiller, go ahead and type them in the comments now. That way, as we get into some of the live demonstrations, I can pull out those comments and we can kind of build a list of questions. So if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and type them in at any time. That way I can scroll through them later on in the broadcast. Thanks. Hey, what's up? Thanks a lot for joining us today. It's just a minute before 7 here. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. We're going to let some people continue to join. I see we still have people joining right now. So I'm going to give it a few minutes before we actually get started. But if you didn't hear me earlier, welcome. And if you have any questions about Monport machines, especially the 80-watt CO2 laser that I have and that I'm going to demonstrate here today, please go ahead and leave them down in the comments at any time, even now. And that way I can cycle through them once we get to the question and answer portion, so we can kind of build up a list of questions. So I would appreciate that. Thanks. And just stick around. We'll get started here officially in a few minutes. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I guess let's get started here. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Thanks for joining us. I can't believe it, but this is Monport's first ever live stream that they've ever been a part of. So I'm really thankful to be a part of that and that they asked me to do this. I really love their machines and I've been using it for a little bit over or about a year now. So got a little bit of experience under my belt with it and really enjoy all their stuff. So thanks for being here. The purpose of this live stream today is to go over, just a kind of a primer of all the Black Friday specials that they have going on this week. And also to answer some questions if you have specific questions about the Monport 80 watt machine that I have in my shop. And maybe I can answer some other general CO2 laser or even diode laser questions that maybe you have. And we're also going to do a few live demonstrations of some of the capabilities of the machine. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see who we got on here. We got 39 on right now. We've got, okay, so from California, Arizona, South Carolina, Tennessee. All right, good. We got some questions coming in. If you didn't hear me earlier, if you got questions, just go ahead and throw them in there. We're going to sprinkle those in as we go here. Great, 40 people. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, Puerto Rico. Wow, can't believe it. All right, welcome, Vincent. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go ahead and look at the deals that Monport actually has going on right now because they've got some pretty killer Black Friday stuff going on. All right. Okay, so here we have their website. So they're offering up to 60% off on their machines. And one of the biggest things that they're doing is they're giving 2 free gifts. All right, so when you're buying an 80 watt or a fiber laser combo, you're getting 2 free accessories. That's really awesome. Let's go ahead and click on that. Let's go check that out. Let's see. So here's the 80 watt CO2 36 by 24. This is similar to the one that I have, although mine has the integrated chiller. But with the Black Friday special, you're getting this machine. It's 13% off, plus you're getting a $150 gift card, a rotary, or a free Lightburn subscription. So really cool, really good deal. As we keep looking down here, the Onyx, if you're looking for a desktop machine, these things are really awesome. A 55 watt desktop, they're $600 off right now. And the machine that I have is the 80 watt with the integrated chiller. And this is going for $44.99, so it's $500 off. And for Black Friday, it's an extra $40 off at checkout. So go ahead and check out their website. There's a lot here to look at. There's tons of deals. We're not going to go over all of them right now, but there's a ton of deals out there. If you're looking to get into this hobby or if you're looking to get into it as a business, as I do, it's just couldn't be a better time to get into. So speaking of me, who am I? So my name's Brett. I have a company called American Revival Crafts. We specialize in laser engraving and woodworking projects, mostly laser engraving right now. And we run a small business out of our house. My wife and I, she runs it full time and I help her out. But our whole business is centered around this 80 watt CO2 machine that I have here. I mean, everything that we do comes off of this machine. I've had this for about a year now. I bought this coming from the diode laser world, just getting started with lasers a couple years ago. And I was frustrated with, I guess, the cutting capability of diode lasers. I thought it was fun as a hobby. I played around with it for a while. But at that time, using a 10-watt diode laser, it just didn't really cut it for me, and I wanted to upgrade. So as I was looking around at all the different companies, I found Monport. I stumbled upon them, and there's really no better value out there that I found anyway with lasers. I mean, I paid for this machine with my own money. I bought this, and it was a really great deal, similar to how it is now. I paid a little bit more for it, so I wish I would have waited a little bit, I guess, but it was still a good deal when I got it, and it's just been a workhorse for me. I mean, me and my wife use this every single day, just about, and some days it's running 6, 7, 8 hours lately. We've been extremely busy, so I couldn't be happier with it. It's a 24 by 36-inch bed, 80 watts, so it's got plenty of power, and it's a nice footprint. It's got the pass-through in front and back if I want to do larger material going through that way. And, it's just been really great. I've never had any problems with it. It's a really great machine to learn on. I've learned a ton in 1 year from owning this, so really like it. Okay, so let's see. We got 39 in. 39, okay. So another thing we're going to be doing today is we're going to be giving away free stuff, all right? So Monport has generously provided us with some material packs, 20 different material packs that we can give away today. So we got a lot of giveaways. I mean, it's a pretty good chance you're going to win something right now. So pretty good. One thing I'd like to start off with right now that we got the introductions out of the way, let's work on a project. Let's start something. So I have a few Christmas projects that I lined up for today, and I've got them on my computer in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. So the first project that I'm going to start here is, I'll share my screen again. This is a little elf on the shelf prop background. These are really popular. I bought this on Etsy, which I got to say, I mean, if you're like new into this industry and you're thinking like I did, like if you're thinking like, okay, I want to get into laser engraving, I think it's really cool, but I just don't have the computer skills, or I don't have the experience. Nowadays on Etsy, the ability to buy SVG files and then go ahead and import those into Lightburn or whatever software you choose to use with the machine, I mean, it couldn't be any easier. So it's a great way to start. I mean, you don't always have to design everything right from scratch, but purchasing SVGs can be, a really great way to get started. So that's what I did here. I mean, just to show you that, you don't have to physically get on Illustrator or something and design all your own files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start this up here. So on this file, we're going to have two elements. We're going to be doing some engraving, and we're going to be doing cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras to the laser bed, and I've got this preloaded, but I'm going to go ahead and hit my frame button, make sure I'm in frame. Okay, good. So for this particular job, we're going to be running, this is 3mm basswood plywood, and my engraving speed is going to be 325 millimeters a second at 25% power. And to cut this out, I'm going to be cutting it at 20 millimeters a second at 45% power. So let's go ahead and get this running. This is going to take about, let me preview this. This is going to take about 8 minutes to run. So let's get that running and let's try to answer some questions, huh? I got to shut the door, obviously. Oops. There we go. Okay, so you always want to start with your engraving layer first before you do any cutting. Now I'm going to go back here while that's running. And let me know if you can't hear me anymore. I got my compressor kicking on and some other things. I can turn up my mic. Let me know in the comments if you have trouble hearing me or anything like that. But I'm going to go back up to the top. Okay. So Magecrafts, you're asking what air compressor am I using? So I have a California air compressor modification upgrade that I've done to my machine. It's a very common upgrade. Um, the machine does come with a standard air pump that is attached. I do like the extra capability of a external air compressor and valve because I can dial in exactly what speed or what pressure I have coming out of the air assist, whether I'm engraving or cutting. So that's why I went ahead and did that upgrade, which is very common. There's lots of YouTube videos on that out there, but it's a California air compressor. It's pretty quiet. I like it. Small. You can see it kind of right here. And yeah, Magecrafts, it's the 8-gallon model. All right, Beartooth Customs, looking at the 130 watt. Yeah, I mean, you know, the bigger you can get, I think better. I mean, the more power you can have, you don't always need it, but to have it available for me, I really like that. If I had the space, I would definitely get the 130 watt because I mean, it's just you have so much more capability with it. But not to say that the 60 or the 80 you're not having any capability, but with 130, I mean, it just has that much more. You can have that much more speed and that much more power for your project. So, but the one drawback it is, I mean, they're large machines. I mean, they're like 8 feet wide. The footprint of them are 7 feet wide, something like that. So they're pretty big. But if you got the space, go for it. And Magecraft's, yeah, I don't have a tutorial on the air assist. I have a tutorial on how to do the Lightburn camera, if you want to go check that out. But which I highly recommend the Lightburn camera, installing that in a machine. That is a really good upgrade just for ease of use. But there's tons of good videos out there on how to do it. I followed one by Bearded Builds. It's really good explanation on how to do it. So Anthony, welcome. Anthony's asking, my 60 watt should be here in the next week. Awesome. How do they work on leather? So I've never cut leather personally, but I've seen tons of videos of people just plowing right through leather. Uh, I don't know exactly what speeds you would use on that because I've never done it personally, but I could see these things just blowing through leather. I mean, it's going to be night and day compared to your diode laser in the past. So M. Bon is asking, new to lasers, how do you know the settings to engrave or cut? That is a fantastic question. And it's a tough question, but the best answer I can give is to experiment. So the best thing you can do when you first get your laser, after you set it up and make sure all the mirrors are aligned and it's working properly, is to run material test cards. So material test cards are going to be your best friend. You need to run them on every single different type of material that you're running, whether you're running hardwood or veneered plywood or MDF. I mean, you have to run a material card on everything. That's the only way you're going to know how the laser is going to react to a specific material. Okay, so Alan's got a question about the camera. There was another one before this asking what camera to use. So in Lightburn, if you're familiar with that software, in the, let's see here, in the laser tools, let's see here. No, in the help section, in the help menu at the top. Here, let me open up Lightburn real quick in my laptop here. Okay, so in Lightburn, up here in the help menu, okay, there's going to be a button that says, let's see, where is it? Camera selection help. Okay, so this is going to read your machine size from your controller if you have that capability. If not, you have to type in your own information. But it's going to, if you go through this menu, it's going to recommend which camera to purchase. So go ahead and check that out. That's what I did. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're done with the engraving. We're into the cutting now. And again, that's at 20 millimeters a second. Hey, thanks a lot, Anthony. I thank you for watching the video. I appreciate that. Hey, Eric, what's up? Good evening. I don't have any experience with their fiber lasers. I'm hoping to expand into that into the future, but right now I don't. I have not used the fiber lasers. So I've been researching them quite a bit to try to figure out kind of what I'm looking for, what I want to do with it, but unfortunately, I don't have any experience with that. All right, so our job's done. Let's go get it. Okay, so one thing I want to show, a really good, one tip I have here is, you'll notice these little clips I have. These little hold down clips work awesome for this honeycomb bed. I got these on Amazon for really cheap. I think they're from Two Trees or something like that. They make honeycomb beds and stuff for diode lasers, but they stick in the machine really good and hold down the material. Really important to make sure you hold down your material flat so that you don't get out of focus. Okay, so we have two projects here. This is the one that I showed you on Etsy. This is a separate one. We need to cut one more piece from this, or we need to cut one more piece for this project. This is a little message board for an elf on the shelf. So in this area, I'm going to cut a piece of white 3mm plywood that I've coated with some dry erase board paint so that you can write a little note on there. And that I have loaded up right here. So let's go ahead and cut that. I'll go ahead and frame. Make sure I'm still lined up. Okay. And this will just be a quick cut here. Let's start that. All right, so while this is cutting, I guess let's start giving some stuff away, huh? We've got 68 in the chat right now. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and start a giveaway. I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to show you what I'm giving away. Monport, again, has been generous to go ahead and offer this 18-piece birch plywood set. So $36.99 value. Pretty high-quality birch plywood. You can never have enough of this to be cutting with and engraving with. So what I want you guys to do right now is go ahead in the comment in the chat section. Go ahead and type in material in the comment section. I'll give you a minute or a little bit of time here. While you guys are typing that in, I'm going to grab my piece out of the laser. All right, here we go. All right, so I pulled some of those comments into a wheel here. We're going to pick 5 names. You ready? Okay, so the first winner. Oh, hold on a second. Let me fix this. All right. Here we go. Bear with me. Okay, so a couple technical difficulties, but we're getting through it. I got the first 5 winners. I wasn't able to share the screen, but the first 5 winners. Number 1 is Ken Spock. Ken Spock, Michael Grote, Edward, Alan M., and Eddie Abelseth. Good job, guys. Okay, very good. So, if I just called your name right now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and email Monport at sales@monportlasers.com. I have that link down in the description. Congratulations, guys. Good job. Then they're going to send that out to you or give you a promo code so you can go ahead and order that. All right, let's get back to a few questions. Actually, let's get a job running actually while we're waiting. The second job, well, let me show you the first jobs that I have that I finally completed. So here is our elf message board. I have to get some more glue, but basically, so you can see how that works. I'm going to put some magnets on the back of this and stick this on my fridge, and that way we can write notes to our kids from their elves. And the second one is this little postcard backer that your elf is going to put its hands and feet through. I would have had my elf out here, but my kids might come out at any time, so I don't want them to see me touching their elf because you're not supposed to touch them. So, but that's what that looks like. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to engrave on some hardwood. Okay, I have a piece of walnut here, a little bit of a live edge. I'm going to do a nativity scene on this. So let's go ahead and get that set up. So for this one, since this is thicker material, I'm going to go ahead and jog my laser over, and I'm going to refocus. All right, we are refocused, and I'm going to frame this job. Let's move it over a little bit. Let's go ahead and take our old material out of here. There we go. Gotta love live media, right? Let's go ahead and get this started. This one's going to take about 7 minutes to complete. We're refocused, ready to go. All right. So let's get back to a few more questions. Let's see here. All right, Stephanie. All right, you got your laser coming here on Monday. All right, cool. And Sarah, hopefully I answered your question about that earlier if you saw that. But they weren't magnets. They were these little clips here. So they've got like a little, kind of like a serrated clip that presses down into the honeycomb bed. Helps hold stuff down. Yeah, and back on those clips, I mean, very true, Magecrafts. I mean, the magnets do, if you can use magnets on the honeycomb bed, they work great. If you get some nice low profile magnets, but they do add some height, especially the higher powered magnets when you really need to hold down something. So the clips, are very low profile. Any more questions? Feel free to type them in the comments here. I want to remind everybody also that this is just the first live stream. I mean, not only the first live stream Monport's ever been a part of, but it's also the first live stream I've ever been a part of. So we're still working out all the bugs and whatnot, but it's really great to be a part of this. I'm really, really excited. Monport has a great Black Friday event going on right now. So this is the first live stream. Next week on Thursday, so Thursday, November 30th, there's going to be a second live stream next Thursday the 30th. And during that live stream, we're going to be giving away to 5 lucky viewers. You're going to get half off your machine. More details on that later, but that's going to be a big prize. That's a big prize. Material's cool, but that's a really big prize. So, all right, let's do 5 more. Let's do 5 more material giveaways here, all right? Let's take a look at this engraving, see how we're doing. So on this engraving, I put a little borax on this wood before to really get the engraving nice and dark. And I'm just getting the next lucky draw set up here. This time we're going to nail it. And no, you don't need to keep typing material anymore. You guys are good. Go ahead and type any questions you might have, though. All right, here we go. Let's get some more names out there. There's our next lucky draw. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, here we go. All right, Edward, congratulations. You're the first winner. Congratulations, Edward. Technica T, number 2. Oh, we got a double there, sorry. Neo Promo, number 3. Jamie Pipkin, number 4. And finally, oh, that's a close one. Small Dog 623. All right, congratulations. Congratulations. Our project is done. Let's go pull it out. Remember, if I just called your name, you're going to contact Monport Sales at sales@monportlaser.com. That email address is in the description of this video. All right, so this came out pretty cool. So just a little nativity scene. This took about 8 minutes or so. Like I said, I put a little bit of borax on this before, so that way it just gets really dark. I'll show you what it looks like. I did a little test earlier. This is what it looks like without the borax. So I mean, it's not that much different. It depends on the species of wood. So this is just a cool little, just a little display for Christmas. All right, so we're getting close to the end here. Let's see if we got any more questions here. Remember, this is just the first live stream, so Again, the first live stream that Monport's been a part of, and the first live stream that I've been a part of. So it's been a fun time. I appreciate everyone sticking around. We got 75 viewers in here right now. I can't believe it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Monport has some awesome Black Friday deals going on right now. And I really do like using their lasers. I've been using mine in my business, like I talked about earlier, for about a year now. I'm actually getting ready to do a 1-year review video on the machine now that I've had some hands-on time with it. So look for that. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. So that'll be coming out here pretty soon. Are there any more questions? Anyone have any specific questions about the 80 watt or any other CO2 laser questions? I see Vincent. Have I used it to engrave in stones or other materials? No, I have not done stone right now. I've been meaning to. I have one project that I have some sample pieces that I have that I've gathered, but I have not used stone yet. So yeah, Magecrafts. There's lots of different. Well, there's a few different, I guess, techniques that you can use to darken your engravings if you want to use. The borax and water technique is the only one I've used, but I've heard baking soda and a couple other powders that you can put in water and then place on the board to help darken it up. I can't think of anything other than baking soda off the top of my head, but borax does work really good. On your material card, what types of tests do you run through? So I just do 2 tests, and what I'm looking for is an engraving test and a cut test. Okay, so I'll do 2 separate cards on each piece of material, and you could set those up directly in Lightburn. There's a feature in Lightburn that you can use to make a material test card, and there's tons of videos out there that explain how to do that. But basically, you're just making squares and you're doing different speeds, different power settings for both engraving and cutting, just to see how your machine specifically reacts with the particular material. Again, tons of videos on that if you want some more information, but that's the basics of it. Oh, this is a good question. Sam, how do you clean up charred engraved materials? So, good question. So this is fresh off the laser. We just got done with this project. Okay, you'll notice if you look close, I don't know if I could show you in the video here, but there's a little bit of burning around the edges. So there's a few things you can do. So number one, you can apply a film masking to the top of your material, and that'll help protect the actual wood from being charred. It'll burn through the film masking and char the masking, but it won't burn the wood. So that's a really good option. It just takes some prep work to adhere that to your pieces beforehand. So it does work good, but you have to buy the masking and then take it off when it's done. So sometimes it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt when you have little small sections here to pull off. But it is a good option. Works excellent. Second option you can do on hardwood especially, this works for this type of project, this is what I would do. I would just sand this. Just take 120 on a random orbital and sand it off. You have to be careful with that if you're dealing with plywood, okay, especially like veneered MDF. This is MDF core plywood, walnut veneered, but the veneer is really thin. So if you try to sand the burning off of this, it's going to be really hard not to burn through the veneer. So on a hardwood option, it works great. But for a veneered plywood or MDF, what you're going to want to do is either use the film masking like I talked about, or just some rubbing alcohol. So you could take 90% rubbing alcohol on a cloth and this stuff will come all off. So a few different methods that you can use. Good question. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. Any more questions? Anyone have any more questions? Okay, well, looks like I think I answered everything. I'm just trying to go back here to see if there's any more that I missed. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, again, remember, this is just the first live stream. Again, the first one I've done, the first one the Monport's done. I really appreciate them asking me to do this and to put this out there. Next Thursday is going to be the big drawing, so you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. If you do decide to buy a machine during this time, I'd appreciate it if you use my promo code. I have my promo code is Brett10. It's not going to give you 10% off like it normally does. Normally, it will give you 10% off. But in this case, the Black Friday deal is much better than the 10% off. So it won't specifically give you a discount, but it will help me out. It will help out the channel. I get a small percentage of the sale if you use my promo code as an affiliate. So I'd appreciate that. It helps me put out content for you guys, and I would really appreciate it. And please make sure you stick around. It's going to be the same time, 7 p.m. Next Thursday. Well, I think that's going to do it for now, but thanks a lot for stopping in. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Next time, we'll be giving away some awesome prizes as well. So remember, if you won, if I called your name out, I'm going to go back and review and get all the list of the names because I forgot them off the top of my head. But I picked 10 names today. So I'm going to go back and review them so I can make sure you get your prizes. But go ahead and email Monport, okay? sales@monportlasers.com. I have that link down in the description of this video. This video is going to be left up on my channel so you can review it at a later time if you want. But make sure you email them. They're going to send you a promo code, which is going to get you a link to that free material. All right? Well, thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate it.